Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about Bridezillas. It's February, it's the month of love. June's right around the corner. Weddings are going to be happening, and every now and again you get that special individual that has to make it their day. I found some really crazy stories that I wanted to share with you guys and thought it would be fun. So if that sounds cool, stick around because we're about to get into it. But before I do, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe because it really does help me out a lot and it is always greatly appreciated. And with that being said, let's get into today's video. My worst bride was an Ivy League educated shrink. She tried to play head games with absolutely everyone involved in the planning of the wedding. She and I butted heads because she wanted a carpet running straight from the bottom of the stairs to the doors of the chapel. I told her it wasn't possible. They didn't line up. She kept asking me if I was sure. Even after I showed her exactly what I meant, she narrowed her eyes and told me that she thought I had problems with the truth. She was very controlling with the groom as well. I remember their names and I looked them up on Facebook a while back. They're divorced and he appears to be happily remarried. All right, yeah. Good for him. I'm glad. Sounds like the bride was a nightmare. I've dealt with controlling people in my life and I gotta be honest, it's not fun. It's not a party, so things worked out just as they should. Good for him. All right. Next story. I knew a woman who was a bridesmaid in a relative's wedding. She was married and had been trying to get pregnant for a while. Finally, she and her hubby got lucky and she conceived. The bridezilla got furious and kicked her out of the wedding because she would be pregnant in the pictures. Months later, sadly, the woman miscarried. The bride called her with a response along the lines of, "Good, well, now you can be back in the wedding." Needless to say, she did not even attend it. And I don't even blame her. I don't know where the brain goes where you would think it would even be okay to say something like that to someone. Condolences are more in order, not a re-invitation to your wedding, lady. You're out of your freaking gourd. Next story. At my sister's wedding, part of the reception was held indoors in an area that isn't wheelchair accessible. My disabled wife and I had to miss out on part of it. We found out about it on that day, minutes before that part of the wedding was due to start. A little while after, we realized that actually there was a way to get to the area. We just needed to go inside the room where it was being set up for dinner. I found my sister and I asked if it would be all right to let us through, and my sister forbade us from going through the room, saying that she didn't want anyone going in there until dinner time, essentially leaving me and my wife sitting outside alone while she and her friends enjoyed a chocolate fountain and an open bar. I came about this close to giving her a loud piece of my mind and bailing on the wedding. I wish you had. I would not have even, there's no way I would have tolerated that. That would have been just the end for me. I would have been like, listen, sis, I love you, but you're being incredibly disrespectful to me and to my wife, and we're just out of here. I don't want to be a part of this. I wouldn't even have been loud about it. I would have just gotten my things and I would have just left. That's not how you treat family. That's not how you treat friends. It's not how you treat anyone. Just, you have a disabled person there. Let them go through the room so that they can enjoy the rest of the wedding. Why would you think that was even remotely okay? I mean, really? They're there at your wedding. They should be included in every part of the wedding. That's just nonsense to me. It's ridiculous. I can't believe people are freaking terrible. That lady is terrible. All right, next story. I'm not a wedding planner, but my friend is getting married soon. She planned this huge wedding and it has 8 bridesmaids/groomsmen. She tried to arrange for bridesmaids to get together and pick out bridesmaids' dresses. 2 of them couldn't make it on the day that she picked. She was so upset that they couldn't come on that particular day that she sent out nasty text messages to all the bridesmaids and canceled the big wedding and was now having a destination wedding with her fiance and their family. Really? Because they couldn't make it on that particular day? She probably had ugly dresses too. What do you want to bet she had, you know how they do that sometimes? They want to make sure that the bride isn't upstaged and they'll put everyone else in these hideous dresses to make them look, kind of dumpy. I bet that's what she had in mind, was trying to make everyone look terrible. She seems like that type. So anyway, next story. So this wedding has already occurred. This is after the wedding part has taken place. So when we went into the reception, we were expecting a buffet or something to be set up, but there was nothing. Later we found out that there was no food and there were 120 guests, but rather than having food, she had a cheese spread, a fruit platter, and some vegetables with dip. After an hour, people were really getting hungry, and some of them started to leave because they were expecting to be fed and they didn't want to stay, which is totally understandable. When the bride found out, she ran across the room in her dress and blocked the doors, screaming how everyone was ruining her day. They're ruining her wedding and screaming that it's the bride's day, it's the bride's way. It was such a scene that her father had to peel her off the door. Oh my God, dude, really? We didn't know where the husband was, probably cowering in a corner somewhere. People who didn't know her well at all left, and we heard through the grapevine that she was inconsolable the entire night, got trashed, and threw up, hopefully on her dress, but not. Oh well, bride's day, bride's way. If it was about the budget, I think for me, honestly, there are ways to get around it, just maybe have people pitch in, or maybe, rent a big room in a restaurant and just have everyone do like separate checks or stuff. It's really not that big of a deal if you go ahead and explain to everyone, just say, hey, the wedding costs this amount and we only have this amount. If you guys want to pitch in, we can all have a nice catered deal, but to put out just cheese and, fruit and stuff like that and expect it to be enough, that's not going to happen. I mean, people aren't going to want to hang around for that. And quite frankly, I don't blame them because, dude, that's like, what are you thinking? People are going to get hungry. It's understandable. The bride kicked the groom's lifelong best friend out of the wedding party because he lived with his girlfriend and she wanted the entire wedding party to be pure. Never mind that it was her third marriage and that her first two ended due to her own infidelity. Well, marriage number 3 ended the same way, but at least the groom and his friend worked past it and they're still best friends. There's a lot to unpack there. I don't know, maybe it was her own guilt from stuff that she's done in her past. Seems kind of weird to me. Never heard of anything like that before in my life. Pure, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to say to that. But obviously things worked out for the best because he went ahead and stayed friends with his friend. Hopefully he's living his best life, found someone that is, super cool and chill, and hopefully this lady got the help that she needs because she's clearly got some issues. Last Bridezilla of the day. It was a stinking hot, humid day and nobody wanted to be outside for the outdoor wedding. We were doing wedding party photos and everyone was dripping in sweat and about to pass out. So we decided to finish the rest of the pics in a nice shady spot. The bride threw an actual honest-to-God tantrum because she wanted to make the party hike all the way across the venue grounds to get shots in front of a full sun pond. None of the bridesmaids wanted to do the 10-minute walk in their heels, and it would have been a terrible spot for photos, which she had mentioned. The bride powdered her way through the rest of the photos, and they divorced a year later. Well, it sounds like she was a real jackass, so I'm surprised they lasted a year. Again, listen, you got to remember, it's not all about you, bride lady. Yeah, you're the bride and it is your day and that's great, but you're not the only one there. I think it's important to keep that in mind. So, I don't know, man. Yeah, there's a lot of other people involved in this special day, and I think that if you make it, inclusive, it's just that much more fun and enjoyable, and that's really, in my mind, it's how it's supposed to be. You can still shine and enjoy and be pretty and all that, but it's just not all about you. You're not the only one there. So anyway, guys, that's for my Bridezillas for today, and I'm looking forward to doing this again soon because these are some crazy ass stories. I'm just having fun with it. So I don't know. I hope you guys liked it too. Let me know what you think in the comments. And yeah, that's going to do it for me. Thank you so much for sticking around and watching. I really do appreciate it. And I will catch you all in the next one. Bye.